Guys, it's 5:27 p.m. It's May 18th. Today is Wednesday, and we had a turn down day today. And there were some good signals, in Mbox, both ES and NQ today. So it is very important that you go through my first regular video and note down some levels and also understand what is going on, contextually, and it will give you the bias, based on the levels. It will give you the bias, like which side to stick on, stick with, and what is going on actually. Really, if you go through that video, first few minutes, you will know, because it will walk you through this entire stuff, right? So this is important, right? This level is important, this level is important, which is this, right? It was straightforward today, above buyers, below sellers, that kind of concept. There are only three levels which were important for both NQ and ES, which is this and 4,000 and this, four levels. NQ, this, which is extreme target for sellers today, this, below this, sellers beginning, below this, more sellers, right? So 1, 2 and 3, that's it pretty much. And you can read through Russell, this and this. So this one is started, that 26 has started the down move, and it came down up to this. Dow, I did not look at it today. Crude also, I did not look at it today. These are the powerful dream numbers. Okay, so I would suggest still watch the regular video first, few minutes walking through the context, and then you watch the Mbox video. Then you will know how the levels and the context, lines up with this with Mbox. If you just look at blindly, right, you can trade it. If you have too much experience going through only Mbox, then you can trade it without the levels, based on the divergence, by this X control, this dot and all these things, right? But some days are not, how would I explain, some days are not good, to trade just the signals alone. Yes, it may work some days, someday it may not work, so for example, how do I explain, see if I can find a good signal that did not work out, but then it looks everything is good. It's, let's say, effort no result, or something else, right? The divergence, but it not necessarily that it has to work all the time, right? So sometimes it fails too. But so that's why context is important, and so does some levels also, and then you can line up with it. Then you have more power, more confidence in your trades, But so this one, oh, actually I was explaining on other chart, but anyway, so I was explaining on NQ, but that chart was not open here. So this one I was explaining, whatever I just talked about, that this is NQ, right? So NQ was clear today based on Mbox. This was very clear today. You can see a lot of sell off. See here, selling, and this is like 1100, right? And you can see a lot of selling. This could be exhaustion too, right? It can be viewed as the exhaustion, right? So if you see an arrow here like this, right, it doesn't mean you have to short it right here, or after this you short it here, right? It's not a good idea right here, but if it breaks below this, especially of the open, I would say, because this could be exhaustion, so you have to wait for something to happen, tell you more, or to look for more confirmation, because look at price already started from here all the way down here, right? So if you try to short based on this and this UT signal and this, it is possible that price will reverse on you, right, like this. So you have to wait right of the open, especially around the open, So here you can see it in NQ, right? So before that, the story. It's like, okay, there could be exhaustion or beginning of the further down move, right? So now the levels are very important. So that's what I'm saying. If you know the levels, then you know whether it's exhaustion or not, or if it breaks below this certain level, then it's not an exhaustion, it's a beginning, So for example, this 350 was a level, So here you can see it, minus 1100, minus 178, plus 41, right? Now people are looking for divergence, right? They may think, man, this is a divergence, right? Plus 14, 11, 170 and plus 40, 41, this is a bullish signal. And then when they see this dot and break out about this range, they will try to go long. Possible, right? So, but you have to understand the context first, right? So, but in this case, let's ignore this for now, right? So, and then let's say of the open, you see this UT and this pullback before that, you know, sellers are in control. Then you can see this, there was a selling came in here, right? All this thing was good, favoring sellers, right? But still I said you have to wait. Then what happened? See, immediate reversal, right? See, here you have to think reverse, right? Reverse means you have to think, okay, fine, sellers are in control. Here we spotted some buyers here, right? And then we had this sell off, and then immediately price pop back up, right? So you have to assume that some buyers are here and they may take it higher, right? But considering this overnight sell off, right, you do not want to go long. You have to just wait, and you have to pray that if this buyers fails, then you have a trap buyer situation that can fuel the down move. You have to look for those kind of signals, right? So when here you can see is 40 or something, right here, see, then you see 25, right? It was a breakout of all this thing and it's at 25, right? But with UT, so now you know something is off here. This buyers looks like they wanted to show the strength here, see that, but they are not that strong. That is the sign here. You have to read it reverse way. Then you wait, right? And then price pull back right here, this here, look at this, right? And then again try to take this high, right, with 16 less than this. Now you know something is going on, and here it went above by one tick or 1 point or few points, 2-3 points, and then got rejection, right? Then another attempt here, right? And then you see this dot came in, right? And then it tried to take out this low, but closed right underneath it, right? Then you see the X control. See, that's where you are ready to short now, right here, because this increased now. See that? And this sell off, this selling was pretty much covered the entire yesterday's selling. So it was greater than entire yesterday's selling. Now this is your chance to short here, or if you are lucky, if that price pull back here, you short with minus 19 and this double algo signals, which was a trending signal, right? Now you short it, put your stop right above this, and then you can write it down, right? So, and then after that you can see there were so many UT signals, red, everything was red actually, and then you can just short, So that was about NQ, right? So the levels, you have to watch the first video. You understand why price was rejecting, let's say balancing here, or here, you have to see the levels, and then right around here also. You have to watch my first video, okay? So that's the NQ. Now let's talk about ES, right? So ES, if you look at 1 minute, similar situation in NQ. See, all this thing happen in overnight. This could be minus 1100, very good amount of selling, could be exhaustion too. But you have to understand, remember I said you have to watch levels, right? Where it happened, it's happening. It could be exhaustion or beginning. So this 44.40 was important area from yesterday. If you look at my yesterday's regular video, you will see me talking about this important area, right? And also this 65.69, right? So today's goal was for buyers to hold about this in order to go higher. Otherwise, some sellers can begin. You can see this comment also, which was right around this area, 65.69. This is 65.69. You can read this comment. So in the overnight sell off below, at least I know going into today, this could be the beginning, not an exhaustion. Then this 4014 area. Below, more sellers. This is the last line for today for buyers to defend. 4000 is like a hanging hook, So, and NQ, similar notes, you can see it here also. Hold on. Man. See this clear note. Rotation line. See my note, I published it right here. So here you can see rotation line, right? After I published my notes, you can see the break below this, right? And then it held it. See, this is the sign that sellers are there. Below this 408 line, sellers are beginning, And below this 300, 325, more sellers will come. And you can see it, there is a balance breakdown. That's your short right there. Okay, so it was around 10:50 to 11 o'clock. Okay, I will show you in here also. Okay, right? So now you understand the background here, right? So this was a sell off from 69 in the overnight, and then of the open right here, right? Even before that, see, it broke through this with X control, it broke down here, right? That was your first sign, correct? With lot of selling. And here you can see, so the way I read this thing is similar to NQ, minus 1139, minus 148. There was some positive delta here, and you can see it's fueled by this S control buying, right? So exhaustion buying came in here, and then, but remember in NQ I said you have to wait to see what's going on, right? But at least from here and from here, you know the story that sellers are there, right? Based on the notes, and at least based on this reading. And then when buyers came in here, right, you can see there is a poor buying here. X control dot was here, big dot, right? But there was a poor buying, correct? Then it went higher, and then somebody sold it here, correct? So now you are watching these things, correct? And but there is no selling. Then again another attempt, plus 17. See here also plus 17, right? So that means buyer did not achieve anything here. There is not great buying going on here, right? And here you can see minus 88 now, right, which is lower than this. So sellers are not that great at this point, right? But so does buyers. But at least you know it is holding below this level, right? And it retested this balance, this level as a resistance now. Then you can see this sell-off came in 5 minutes, right? You're watching all this thing, and then you see this bar developing while this thing is going down, and this thing is taking out this and this, right? Here at this time you can short right here, similar to NQ. Or if you missed out, you can see minus 88 to 233, that much selling, you wait for a pullback happened right here, right? You short right here, you know, and then you can easily target 4,000 or 4,014 depending on how you manage it, right? But you can see 4,014 was my backup buyers area, and you can see there is a balance here, right? But here you take some profit, and then you see whether price can able to go above this area 24, or it can turn into resistance, this bold area, and you can see it, price was hesitating, right? See that at this time you are ready to short right here in this area, you know, 11, 23, 74, 32, right? You can short right here. Then you expect price to go down to 4,000, and then you watch, you know, you tighten up your stop, which is this 4,000, right, which is this level, and you can see price try to held it, right? So here you can see minus 286, minus 234 on a other day, on a, see now here, this is what I was talking about earlier. Sometime it will fool you right here, see that? So people may show you these things, you know, and say, you know what, this was a good long opportunity. Yeah, someday it may work, right? Someday it won't. You need to understand the context, what is going on. See, in this case, you can look at this, minus 182, minus 79, minus 73, minus 286, no selling, minus 34, there is a dot here, and then here minus 69, but this thing is completely flipped, right? See, this thing is also going down, see, like this. So all this thing was pointing to the buying side, right? But knowing that now, if you know the context and what is going on, you know after this balance you can only look for shorts, not the breakout long here, you know, unless price goes above this, then you can look for longs. And you can see it here, 141, 75 now, right? So buying gone, right? And then immediately you can see this breakdown, and then X control dot, big dot, selling increase, you short right here, see? So you have to look for specific thing, you have to avoid these things, you know, these divergences. So that's what I was explaining earlier, right? By looking at the blindly these things, you may think this is a good long setup, but it is not, right? Yes, unless you wait for a breakout of these things, or you know, by looking at this mini balance, you think 141, pull back, go long, right? But, or maybe you can go long right here, right? But you have to see all these things, you know. And then so 5 minutes, and now at this point below 4,000 the target was fixed, you know, you don't have to even look at Mbox. The whole idea was if it breaks below this or 4,014, most likely it will go toward 39.25, you know, which is, I'll show you here, it's easier. and right here around 240. That was the target, you know. So here see, this was the target right here, right? And if you look at the notes, see these things, this is where it all started. This was the first set of buyers that came in, you know, on Monday, I think Monday or Friday, whatever time was it is, you know. That's why I kept this note as it is for this entire week. Same notes, NQ, same thing. And that's where they stopped. This was a final maximum target for today, you know, for both NQ and ES, and you can see it here in NQ also, you know. So, and that be all, you know.